With respect to Kashmir, obviously this is a long-standing dispute between India and Pakistan. As I said yesterday, I believe that both Pakistan and India have an interest in reducing tensions between the two countries. The United States cannot impose a solution to these problems, but I've indicated to Prime Minister Singh that we are happy to play any role that the parties think is appropriate in reducing these tensions. That's in the interests of the region, it's in the interests of the two countries involved, and it's in the interests of the United States of America. My hope is that conversations will be taking place between the two countries. They may not start on that particular flashpoint. There may be confidence-building measures that need to take place, but I'm absolutely convinced that it is both in India's and Pakistan's interest to reduce tensions, and that will enable them, I think, to focus on the range of both challenges and opportunities that each country faces. I do want to make this point, though, that I think Prime Minister Singh, throughout his career and throughout his prime ministership, has consistently spoken out, both publicly and privately, on his desire, his personal commitment to reduce tensions between India and Pakistan.
As far as India's relations with Pakistan are concerned, I have always maintained that a strong, peaceful, moderate Pakistan is in the interest of India, is in the interest of South Asia and the world as a whole. We are committed to engage Pakistan. We are committed to resolve all outstanding issues between our two countries, including the World K. We are not afraid of that, but it is our request that you cannot simultaneously be talking and at the same time the terror machine is as active as ever before.
I don't think you've heard me make outsourcing a boogeyman during the course of my visit. In fact, I explicitly said in my address in Mumbai to the Business Council that I think both countries are operating on some stereotypes that have outlived their usefulness. In every discussion that I've had with Indian businesses, what I've seen is that our countries are matched up in a way that allows for enormous win-win potential. So you mentioned that some of the deals that we have struck are ones that will create jobs in the United States. That's absolutely true. We're very proud of some of our high-tech industries, and we think that we make some of the best products in the world, and we want to sell them to a growing Indian market. But it turns out that those same technologies are ones that will allow Indian entrepreneurs to grow and to thrive and create jobs right here in India. And that's true at the large scale. If we're helping to build up Indian infrastructure, then that helps to knit the country together and get goods and products and services to market. It's true at the small scale. I mean, I had these amazing conversations down in Mumbai with Indian business people who had taken American technology. In one case, it was solar cells. In another case, it was some of the equipment designed to be used for electric cars. And they were using those technologies in new ways in India, using different business models that were that applied uniquely to India, to make profits and to do good here in India and to create jobs here in India. So I think the pattern that you're going to see is that U.S. companies are creating jobs in the United States with technologies where we've got a lead. Indian businesses are then going to take those technologies and apply them in India to grow Indian businesses as well. And that's going to be a win-win for both. Those are the kinds of patterns that I think make this relationship so important. And when I go back home to the United States, part of the reason that I advertise these 50,000 jobs is I want to be able to say to the American people, when they ask me, well, why are you spending time with India? Aren't they taking our jobs? I want to be able to say, actually, you know what? They just created 50,000 jobs. And that's why we shouldn't be resorting to protectionist measures. We shouldn't be thinking that it's just a one-way street. I want both the citizens in the United States and citizens in India to understand the benefits of commercial ties between the two countries.
As far as India is concerned, India is not in the business of stealing jobs from the United States of America. Our outsourcing industry, I believe, has helped to improve the productive capacity and productivity of American industry. And the new deals that have been struck, they all happen to be in infrastructure. And infrastructure today is the biggest bottleneck to the faster growth of India, to the faster growth of employment. And therefore, these deals that the President has mentioned are truly an example of trade being a win-win situation for both our countries.
This relationship is extraordinarily important to me, and don't just take my word for it. I think look at our actions. Obviously, this trip has been of enormous significance. It's no accident that this is the longest time that I've spent in a foreign country since I've been president. As I said yesterday, I don't think India is emerging. It has emerged. India is a key actor on the world stage. And given that we have these values that we share, at a time when there are still too many conflicts, there are still too many misunderstandings between nations, when principles like democracy and human rights too often are not observed, for our two countries to be able to stand together to promote those principles in international forums, by the example that we set, by the bilateral ties that we form, I think can be incredibly powerful and incredibly important. One last point I want to make on this. This is a belief that is shared by Republicans and Democrats in the United States. I mean, if you think about what's happened in our relationship, how it's evolved over the last 15 to 20 years. You had President Clinton, a Democrat, President Bush, a Republican, and now me, another Democrat, each of us reaffirming in a steady, committed way why the U.S.-India relationship is so important.
We need a global trading system which does not encourage protectionism, which enables our entrepreneurs to make use of the enormous opportunities that processes of globalization now offer. We need the American assistance by way of export of capital. We welcome American investments in our economy. I have mentioned earlier also on several occasions, India needs an investment of $1 trillion in the next 5 years in its infrastructure, and we would welcome American contribution in fulfilling that ambition of ours. America is a home of high technology. We need that technology to upgrade our skills, both in the civilian sector and also in the defense sector. So I attach great importance to strengthening in every possible way India's cooperation with the United States